Today we're using every City Skylines 2 trick that I know to create this stunning countryside. I grew up in a small town surrounded by farmland like this, and when I turned 18, all I wanted to do was get out of there. I spent the next 20 years in cities of millions of people. But when I started a family, all I wanted to do was get back to the open fields and the forest where it's quiet and peaceful and beautiful. Today, let's recreate that quiet beauty in our favorite city builder, City Skylines 2. Let's go! Hey everybody, and welcome to Gaming with Vindicator, where we're building the Nordic-inspired city of Lillehammer. I've wanted to create some epic farmlands since watching City Planner, $2.20, and Infrastructurist create their own masterpieces. And I've been working toward this episode for a while. In fact, our last two episodes have been laying the groundwork for this one, creating these mountain streams and laying out the skeleton of this rural road network. So today we're gonna absolutely crush our production deficits, which I'll show you here. And we're gonna take care of grain, livestock, vegetables, cotton, and even metal ore. And to make it beautiful, we're leaning hard on mods like extra landscaping tools, anarchy, and plop the growables. And then we'll round things out by building a small country town over here to fill some of these new farm jobs and get in some signature agricultural buildings, at least one of them. So here we go. The first thing I want to do is flesh out some of these roads. And I think, we've got enough pavement, but I want to get in a few more dirt roads that will help us divide up this land a little bit for the farms. And let's just play and let's see how it turns out. And let's get some contours on so we know where we're going. I think that's looking much better. We've got a little bit more dirt roads and a little more dead ends. And I think the other thing we would have in a rural countryside area is some rural power lines. Where I live, these things go down almost every country road. I don't know if you call them collectors, but anyway, there definitely seems to be a need for this. So let's get in one that kind of runs not along the highway, like the main high-powered transmission lines, but let's get one that goes down the secondary road, and we'll take that all the way down, and we'll see if it makes sense to put it elsewhere also. And in some places it's telling me that this is overlapping when it's really barely overlapping. So we're just gonna use anarchy and cheat our way a little bit to get this power line in. How do we like the look of that? Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's a few places where it gets a little close to the tarmac here, and that would be a certain hazard. There's a couple places where they bunch together, but we're not going to be perfectionist here. We're just gonna let it fly. And I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. I think, you're driving along and you see the power lines. It's a very rural thing to see. And let me see if there are any other areas where I want to add that in as well. I think we'll leave that for now. And there's another thing I'm seeing that there might be a perfect spot for a little rural gas station. Where might that fit? Maybe at the crossroads here. This would probably be some place where people would need a little bit of gas without having to go all the way into town here. Let's create a little corner store type of action. I think this is a pretty good spot. And rather than struggle with trying to get a real good gas station in here, let's use find it, and we'll use plop the growables to actually put in a gas station. I'm thinking maybe a 4x4 should do it. And if we can scoot that on the end. Now I'm still not sure if I need to zone this commercial underneath of it. If someone could tell me, that would be really much appreciated. I'm thinking it might need that, so we might just go ahead and do it. And I'm also seeing that our gas station is running right through these power lines, so let's move it just a little bit off the road. And let's flatten out this pad a wee bit too. Oh, and interestingly enough, it's not letting me move it. So I wonder, and I don't have the move it mod installed. That's really kind of odd. So let's just try this again here. Yeah, we can put it on that side. That solves our problem of the power lines. And what else do we want to get in here? Maybe a convenience store. Let's see if that exists. Not really. So let's try grocery. Nothing. How about a little motel? Let's see what comes up here. There we go. We've got a little bit of motel action here. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, that's not too bad. Looks a little quaint. I don't mind that at all. And let's see if we can just plop that on the corner here. And you know, speaking of corners, is there a corner store perhaps? Yeah, not getting what I'm looking for. So let's try this. Let's go into buildings and commercial. That's an interesting siren. I wonder what that is. And let's just take this out and let's do 2x2. Let's see what commercial 2x2s they give us. I also want a low zoning, not a high density. EU commercial. Let's see, what is this? God, I really don't like any of those, so I wonder, is there another building we can get in here? I think we can live with that. That kind of looks like a little corner store. What is it called? Sneaky Ridge. Can't quite, oh, shoes. Ah, that's kind of silly. We'll call that a corner store, okay? It's a corner store. All right, so we got a little like crossroads set up over here. We're just gonna fix this silly little hill here. Now it is time to get in our farms, but there's something we need to do before that, and that is paint the farmland, the fertile land areas, because this, if we check our natural resources, we have none, okay? And that's not gonna make for any very productive farms. So let's go into the, where do I find this? Landscaping, indeed, here it is. So fertile land resource tool. This is, I have this option because of the extra landscaping tools mod. And so I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna take a massive brush and we're gonna go 100% strength. And I'm not going to be gentle with this. We're gonna go hardcore and just paint the bejesus out of this. I don't know where my ore just disappeared to. I can only see, that's funny, I can only see the one I'm selected on, which is kind of annoying. I hope this doesn't overlap, so let's just give it a touch and see. Did I destroy that? No, it's fine. So I guess maybe things can overlap, which is great because we're going crazy here. That, my friends, is called going wild. So, all right, we now we can build our farms anywhere with impunity and not worry about not being very productive. And let's get in some farms here. Let's see where we're gonna start. We'll come over. Let's turn anarchy off because I don't want to go do something I regret later. But let's come into our zones and specialized industry. And let's see again, what did we have a deficit of the worst? We are really hurting for grain. Okay, shortage of 354 tons a month. How much are these people eating? It's like 700 baguettes per person per day apparently, but we're gonna fix that problem. So let's get in our first farm and let's see where we're gonna put that. Got a nice little spot prepared over here. I think if we pop that at the end of this road, we're gonna be able to cover most of it. And let's go, baby. So it's telling me that these nodes are overlapping over here. I'm the boss, so anarchy is going to be our saving grace here. It still doesn't want to let me do it. Why? There we go. Okay, so it's in and it's functional, I'm sure. And that looked pretty good. So let's see about getting another one in here. And I'm thinking I might have gone a little bit too wide. Oh, and I did not foresee that using anarchy I would fail to destroy the rocks. Those rocks, farmers would take those out generally. So what do? Okay, so we're just gonna delete those rocks and pretend that I did not anarchy that in. We're gonna be very careful. You know, there's one thing that really makes for beautiful farmlands, and those are tree breaks. So farmers will plant trees between fields and between their field and the road, just to cut down on things like wind and snow, especially where I live. That's a problem. So you could drive in the country and your car will be kind of pushed along because it's blowing and snowing so hard sometimes. It makes it really dangerous for driving. So farmers like to plant these trees. You do it once and then it's good for 100 years. So let's get those in now, and we're not going to wait 100 years for those to grow up. So finding my tree tool, I think, you know, let's check. Spruce, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. And we're going to do a line, and of course there's a little bug, I think it is. When I clicked that, I lost all my options. So we'll just click it again, back to line tool, and now I've got all my options. And I want to do fence mode, because these would be planted very close together. And I want my adult trees and the teens and the old ones, just so I get a little bit of variation. And we'll start pretty much right at the road. Make sure anarchy's off, because I don't want to cheat too much. And we'll get that right between this field here. Yeah, I'm not sure if I would consider that fence mode. That's not as close as I would have liked. Is there a way to get this closer? Let's see what wall to wall does. That doesn't seem to be doing anything wall to wall. Huh. I don't think I can get it closer without using anarchy, so I'm not gonna worry about it. That looks pretty good as it is, so let's go for our second farm. And actually this one's gonna be an orchard, and we're gonna start using a little bit of creativity in these things, so let's get our orchard in. So you might be saying, that doesn't look much like an orchard, that looks like a farmer's field. And hey, why did my rocks not go away again? I thought painting that over top would get rid of them. What's going on here, guys? Why am I still got anarchy on? I thought for sure I turned that off. Well, clearly I'm not paying attention, so no worries, quick fix. But here's what we're gonna do. So, oh, there's a rock right in my farm. Is that part of the asset? I'm not sure. Ooh, quite the drop off too. Let's fix that. Better. Okay, so yes, where were we? This doesn't look like an orchard to me, does it? To you? No, so we're gonna fix that. We need a surface, and I'm trying to remember which one it is that I'm looking for. So it must be grass, because this is the only one that's kind of speaking to me right now. So let's just make a little area and see how that turns out. Yeah, that's perfect. And what we're gonna do is just go straight over this other texture, and we're going to eliminate it. Now we have a beautiful green field, and the beautiful thing about this is that this is a functional farm, right? We're still gonna get grain produced out of here, but it's not gonna look at all like grain because we're turning this into an apple orchard. And so if we find our apples, apple trees, and again, we're going back to line mode, we want all the same age. I want them to look like they're planted at the same time. I don't want fence mode anymore. I want, what do I want? Spacing variation. Let's see how 10 meters looks. In real life, that'd be way too far apart. And this even, we have to anarchy this in to make this work. Ooh, these are not being consistent. What do we need to do here? There we go. Okay, fence mode. What is this one? This one has been added recently, apparently. Wall to wall. I don't quite get it. So this is better. How do we like the spacing? That actually looks pretty fine, I would say. So let's go ahead and create our rows of apples. You know, I have to be quite honest with you. In City Skylines 1, I never used anarchy. I kind of thought it was a little bit like cheating. I thought, if you can't play within the confines of the game, then why you bother playing? But my attitude has entirely changed because now we have this apple orchard that would not be possible without anarchy. And I think it's pretty cool. We're getting, you know, apples that are actually coming out as grain, and you know, that I think that sounds like a fantastic idea. We're all gonna be billionaires, so fantastic. We have another farm down, and let's see what's next. Checking my production deficit, I mean, we could probably fire nothing but grain and still not have enough, but let's switch over to vegetables here because we're almost tied with grain, and tackle some of that deficit. And I think if we try, will we be able to squeeze this in? Yeah, I think we can squeeze this in here. And in that top right corner there, we'll just put a little bit of trees, a block of trees. So, okay. I'm turning anarchy off. I don't know why it keeps bouncing back on. That's annoying. Beautiful, and another kind of wheat looking field and some major terrain difficulties. So, I don't know, is it even going to be possible to flatten that out? That's wild and wonderful, but we'll do our best. It's as good as it gets. This, oh man, that drives me nuts. Can we fix it? There's going to be more that pop up, I'm guessing, but well, this is a feature of our wonderful city builder. I think, whoops, I think that's probably as good as we can do for now. Hey, you choose to build your farmhouse on a hill, and this is what you have to do with your driveway, so that's fine. But look, we're not going to leave this like this. I want to change it, so we're going to go back to our grass trick. Sweet. So I think that actually looks really good, especially from the air. When you zoom in a little close, it looks a little flat, like nothing's actually growing here because, well, it's not. It's a video game. But I think from the air, it provides a nice visual alternative. I was kind of peeking at rural farmlands in Norway, and they were all kind of looking more green than they were like the yellow of wheat. So we might lean a little heavier on the green and see how that goes for us. And so far, so good. So let's keep it rolling here, folks. Cool. How's the terrain? It's not good and it's lagging already. So what's up with that? I don't know. Sweet, our countryside is coming together. Let's put another farm right here. Cool. And I didn't want to get too close to the town there because I don't know. I just don't like it when these cottages are right next to a farmland. So we'll keep that keep it at bay a little bit. And you'll notice I'm not getting too close to all the work I did last episode on the trees next to the river. I think we want to leave a little bit of natural beauty before we kind of pave over it, or rather farm over it. But let's get in, you know what? I think this spot, it would be great to sort of intersperse with a few more trees. And so let's do that. I'm going to use the multiple tool, and I've already got a custom set for the trees that I like. It's 4 trees and apple tree. I don't know, is that the one I wanted? That seems a little silly. I don't think that's what I wanted. Let's just paint and see what happens. And I want to be very strong on this. We'll call that a woodlot. That's you know, some place that farmers are leaving intentionally blank for purposes unknown. But let's get in one more farm over here. I kind of messed that up by not bringing this farm close enough to this road. I want that farm to butt all the way up. Well, it's kind of a nice weird shape, which I love. And do we want to leave it? I think I want to do one more green field. We'll turn this one into a green one. Cool. Yes, love it. What else? Oh, what the heck happened there? Where did my... Where did the farm go? That's really odd. It appears to be there, but it's disappeared. And that gosh darn anarchy went on again. I know I did not put, did I put that on? I thought I didn't. Let's quickly do that again because this, wait a minute, there's a reset button on this, isn't there? Let's see if I can just reset this. Yeah, no, it's just being super weird. So unfortunately, we've got to just do that again. And before we do, I noticed there were a bunch of helicopters flying over somewhere. I'm assuming those were fire helicopters looking for a fire to fight. I don't see anything happening now, so maybe that means that they've done their job and we don't need to worry. Let's try this again, and let's try it without anarchy. We fixed it, and I think this might be my favorite farm so far because it kind of juts down back in here. Oh man, wouldn't it be cool to be a farmer and have all of this real estate to yourself and just be able to, you know, maybe like sit here one day and have your lunch and just be kind of cut off from the world. Maybe it's just me, but I love it. Don't think I want to turn this into any farmland, so we're just gonna forest that up and reserve it for maybe some more city building at some point, but oops, wrong tool, my friend. I want to do all trees, not just apple trees or whatever it was, the birch. Man, that was a mistake. Get it together, Mike. Wow, I really love how this is coming together so far. It's looking pretty lit, and we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I'm not sure we're gonna fill all the way up to here. That would be a very long episode, but we're gonna come at least up to here where I'm going to build a little village. So let's do it. So there's another, and I think we're gonna be fine to get one more over here. Yeah, I suspected that might be a little crazy terrain-wise, so flatten it out. How do we like it? Yeah, those fields can't both be that color, so what makes sense? Probably this one to intersperse it between all these to vary it up a little bit. Yeah, let's do that. Very nice, very nice. And let's pack this corner here full of a few more trees. Also noticing trees underneath the power lines where we definitely don't want them. I gotta take off snapping so I'm not just removing the ones that I've selected. And we don't want trees growing under power lines because that's how you get electrocuted. So this feels better. What else? Oh yeah, so I think we're gonna just do another line of trees over here. I want my line tool, try again. And we want fence mode. Okay, and we need anarchy on because I didn't leave enough space intentionally. It was on purpose, guys, don't worry. And we'll go all the way to the road. And now we have a tree break between fields, so they know where the property line is, I guess. And you know, while we're doing tree breaks, let's go around the roads here and do a little bit more of that. But I don't just want to use the same tree, so we're gonna get a little bit creative. Maybe these guys are using alders. Oh, we don't want that. How do the alders look? You know, probably an evergreen is smarter, only because they don't lose their leaves in the winter. And how do we like pines? They don't really have any wind blocking capacity there. Birch, deciduous means they drop their leaves, right? Yeah, think back to grade 2. Oaks, nah, that drops its leaves as well. Are we? Oh, wait a minute, what's a poplar? Is this a deciduous? It is. However, we're gonna pretend that it's not. And I don't need anarchy because I did leave enough space. I'm smart sometimes. And we will just, I just love this. Look at this. The road maintenance truck is stopping every 5 meters to fill potholes and just nobody's deciding to pass him. That's very funny to me. All right, more trees. We'll let those go into the power line. And switching it up a little bit, go back to our spruce. Ah, so good. This is looking like a real farmland. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I'm down for this. Something along the highway? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Let's... I want to go under the power lines, but I don't think we have to. Let's see if these poplars look half decent. I wonder if we can do a little bit of a curve. Sure, let's try that. We'll see how it looks. Do we love it? We don't hate it. So let's leave it alone. Yeah, we'll give those drivers a little bit of snow blocking capacity, and we'll keep going on these brakes. I think they're really looking snazzy. You know what? Even though these trees are going to lose their leaves, let's just vary up. Ooh, it's pretty big, isn't it? Anarchy. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. I think we can live with that. Up. Keep going. How do we like it? Oh, that's looking pretty sweet. Okay, now it's coming together. My master plan, it's looking better and better. We don't really need tree breaks on the sides where we've got forest, because that would already act as a tree break, so we'll leave that. What is going on here? We have clearly anarchied ourselves into a corner and need to fix that before someone drives right into a tree trunk. That's what you get for playing with the anarchy fire. And I'm still learning, folks. I'm not an anarchy expert, but I sure am enjoying the journey. I sure do love taking trees out of the middle of the road. All right, that's a significant improvement. I think we can flesh out this little forested area here. Beautiful. Okay, shall we keep going? Oh, I've literally painted myself into a corner, and I'm really not sure how one overcomes such a pickle. Let's try again. Oh, there it is. That looks much better, and I think this one is going to be green. Are we just alternating? That's no fun. Yeah, screw it. Green. For the win, it is done. It looks fantastic, and more farms. Let's do it. Ooh la la, coming together, and we got some terrain here. I wonder what can be done. That farm's gonna sort of drop off a hill. No big deal, but we do need a flat pad if we're gonna put a farm in here, so let's kind of find the midpoint. This might not be a terrible spot here right at the bend. That's wild, but we'll fix it. I'm not sure what's overlapping. It seems to kind of hate the bend. It might be the power line that is blocking the other road. So let's see if I just pretend to put it somewhere over here. Yeah, it just hates the power line. That's interesting. Okay. Cannot do. How about down here? Could. Do I want that? Yeah. Well, how bad is that gonna screw up our mountain? Yeah, that's I don't know. Okay, we'll play. Not loving that because I can't get right toward the road, so it's got to be more this way. Just destroying the earth here. Okay. Yep, and let's fix that wild damage that I did. Better and better every day. And let's get some green back in here. I think all of this is gonna be green. Yeah, let's do that. Green. More green. Ooh, yeah, it's looking good. I might be missing something, but that something might just be a few tree breaks. So let's change track and do that now. So good. I'm just loving the way this is turning out. I mean, when we zoom out, I don't know, man. This is turning out better than expected. So, very, very pleased. And let's just keep going. Create another new farm, and let's do something a little different. Let's actually make this a hybrid farm. So half of this can be whatever's growing here, potatoes, beans, soybeans, who knows. And then we'll turn a patch of this into some apple orchards. Okay, let's leave it at that. And while we're doing apples, let's just do one more. Oh yes, now we're talking. This is looking a lot better. Love it. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty wonderful. And what else belongs in a rural countryside area? What better than some wind turbines? So where I live, there are tons of these things, and I actually like the way they look. A lot of people say they're ugly or they don't belong in farmers' fields, but I think they belong exactly in farmers' fields. So let's not overdo it, and let's not try to be too uniform with our spacing on these, but I do want to find the right spots for these things. And you'll notice that when we come in here, it says wind speed too low. We're only producing 3 out of 5 megawatts. I don't care. I mean, this is aesthetic really. If we put it on the hill here, yeah, we're getting close to 5, but I don't need the power. I just want the looks. So we're all about form today over function. So let's find some spots that might fit in farmers' fields. I've got anarchy on because otherwise we would not be able to put those down. And I think let's get them in. Yeah, I think we'll leave it like that. I don't want to overdo it, and I've tried to keep it a little bit away from the power lines in case those fall down. You know, I guess you always want to think about what happens if one of these towers falls down. Is it going to crush something? Well, hey, maybe it will, but doesn't matter. Looks great. Now there are a few I think that we need to connect. I don't think they actually got power lines, so we're going to put these underground because I don't want them to. I don't want to look at them, honestly. All right, I think they're all connected, but we do need some kind of way to actually get there. So I'm thinking not an alleyway, but just a pavement path, and at least it'll look like there's some kind of access into these towers here. And I think we need anarchy on to be able to get those through the fields. So we'll just run them very low key. Now, unfortunately, we'll just say there's a gate there, right? Because we can't delete the fence. I was hoping that the better bulldozer would be able to delete fence segments, but I've only seen that it's able to delete the entire fence around the whole farm. And I don't want to take it away. I don't want to take that away from the farmer. So we're just going to leave it, and we'll just do what we have here. And it's going to look fine from the air, which is sort of what we're going for here. And we're not going to worry about overcomplicating it. I think we've got them all, and I think they're all functional, they're all connected to power, they're all blown in the wind, and they've all got the aesthetic path, so that's great. While we're over here, I want to ensure we're taking care of fire coverage. So again, don't think we can justify a fire station up here. There's one right here, and those guys can shoot all the way down into this area, which is where we're gonna put our new city. But I do think there's a lot of trees here, and that sets my warning bells ringing. So let's find another watchtower and see where that might fit. So good coverage on this side, but not so good over here. So I think we need to do one more, and I'm going to turn contours on so I can see what we're dealing with here. It's a little hard with all the trees, but there appears to be a little ridge here. Would that be a suitable spot? I'm gonna go a little bit farther south than that actually, so kind of around here, so I'm catching those farms. Is there a nice flat pad we have? Not really, but that's okay. So that is that, and now I can never remember which is the side with that the road goes on. Probably where the stairs are coming down. So let's see if we can run just a quick dirt road down here. And there's something wonky going on here with the terrain. I wonder if it's again our power lines, which we anarchied in, which probably messing things up, but I think I can fix it. So when you create a problem with anarchy, you fix it again with anarchy. And something's awry here. I wonder if maybe I didn't get it at the right side. So can I, that's doing something really weird there. So what I like to do is find a road and snap it, and then that's gonna tell me where the road is. So it's on the left side, I want it on the right side. So if I come off now, I should be able to place it, turning my snaps off right where I want it. That should work, yes? Some reason why we don't have power? Oh, that could be it. Yeah, that's probably it. Wow. Couple bugs still to work out in this game, not gonna lie, so we'll fix it. Some reason it just hates that road, so I anarchied it in, and it's still telling me no power. What is going on here?
1 million, zillion, jillion, dillion, cotillion times later.
Whew, that was a tough one. I honestly don't know what that was all about. It's probably something to do with the anarchy, but it's working now. While we're over here, I'm seeing a pretty great opportunity for a forestry area here. I know this is kind of prime wilderness, but this will be a sustainable forestry area. So let's get a little bit of a dirt road in here and put it in the mountains. Great, and we don't have a deficit in logs, but that will certainly add a little bit of industry to the area and some jobs, and just make it look a little bit more varied and diverse. And while we're putting in areas, I noticed that there's an awesome mineral deposit for metal over here. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, and so on both sides of this road here, we might just think about getting 2 different ore mining operations in here. And let's see, what does the terrain look like? It's hilly, but it's not not terrible. So I think we'll kind of put one in over here, and the other one sort of, I guess, not too far across the street. Wow, those are really big, so we'll actually pull this out quite a lot, and we'll fix it later because it looks ridiculous. What's going on here? Who did that? It's a pretty big one. I like it. And of course, as these sub-buildings get plopped in, we're gonna have a little bit of a challenge with the grading, but it's not an insurmountable challenge. Now, I don't wanna go dig right down onto this hill, so I'm gonna use a little trick with a path, and we'll turn our contours on. Oh shoot, I just did that with anarchy. I hope that doesn't mess things up. Anarchy is off, and I just wanna come along this steep side of this hill here, and this is gonna mark, that's a bit too far, mark where the end or the edge of our area will be, and that way I don't go too crazy with this. Apparently something's overlapping. What is overlapping? To my eyes it's fine, but I maybe anarchied this in and broke something, so let's try that again. Oh, it's the power line. I totally deleted that other one for nothing, so okay, so we'll, you know what, rather than anarchy in the ore mining area, we'll just try to anarchy in the power lines after. That looks pretty cool. I like that. And we'll do some more work on it, don't worry. Yeah, good. And I kind of want to look like this has been cut out a little bit. I've seen other creators do this. And I like the idea, so I'm gonna, against my better judgment, try my hand at this. Going down to a small brush, and let's maybe pick a contour line over here and just kind of cut into the hill. I kind of like the way that looks. I wish there was more of a variation in the texture, but we get at least a little shadow there. And yeah, you can't see much of it from the air, but such is life. We'll live with that. At least we'll know that we did something to try to make it look a little bit more different. Oh, and look, seasons are changing and our apple trees are changing, so that's cool. That's one beautiful feature about this game, is that we do get the seasons changing, and it's spring, so everything's gonna get pretty green right now. So we've done our farms, we've done our forestry, we've done our minerals. What's next? I do think there'd probably be some kind of tree break here, not for the wind so much as just maybe for the visibility, not wanting people to look in. There's already a fence, so I guess that's good, but I wouldn't mind just sticking some trees on the opposite side from the power line, so let's do it. Looking half decent. I like it, I like it. Very good. All right, I think now we're ready to move into the phase of building our small town. And this is gonna be the location. I think it's a perfect spot, kind of just off the highway, next to the farm. So, you know, people would wanna live here where they work. And this seems to be a perfect crossroads between this sort of secondary road here and the main crossroad that goes right kind of back into downtown. So, what do we want this to look like? I'm thinking pretty much this is going to be a little bit of a grid, but not a square. Not everyone is a square. So, first thing we got to do is let's remove some of these power lines, just so that we're not facing this anarchy nonsense. And I think also now we want to upgrade some roads. I might not leave it like this, but I do think that it would be a good idea to just upgrade it to this 2-cell length road so that I have options to play with. And I do want a little bit of sidewalk action in the downtown. And let's start with that downtown. So what do we want to do here? I think first let's build out a little bit of the road network, and we'll make that mostly alleyways. So a little road that kind of starts going up into the hill there, so we can maybe build some sort of mountain-esque cabins. And I'm noticing there's a little bit of terrain here as well, so I might just smooth a little bit of this out. Not too much, just enough. Yes, indeed. So that's a nice kind of like irregularly shaped rural little town road layout. And why don't we start with some of the bigger beats? So let's get in a park. Couple little small parks all around town. And let's take a look. How's our health coverage doing? It's, as I suspect, it's pretty terrible. The closest thing is our main hospital, and I think someone would die pretty quickly if they injured themselves and had to go all the way there. So let's make sure we're getting it in a clinic, and let's put it somewhere that's not robbing us of too much good usable land. And let's also make sure that is a flat pad. Cool, right at the edge of town where the land would be cheapest. It's already cheap, I guess. But yeah, anyone can get there pretty quickly from the surrounding area. All those farmers, they got somewhere to go. And I don't think we need to think about police. We don't need to think about fire. We've got that covered with the tower. But I do think I want to add one more little decorative rural type of thing, and that is the water tower. And I think that would go very perfectly at the top of the hill there. And I'm gonna try to just place it. Yeah. Good. It's not quite oriented perfectly the way I want it. Yeah, nice little water tower as you come into town. And I think it would make sense to get in a transmission substation here. So Let's plop one in. Yeah, transformer station kind of right over here. And that can connect with the power line very conveniently to the main transition line. And this way, you know, from the in-game mechanics, we're not bottlenecking anywhere on any roads in case the city grows a lot bigger. And it just kind of looks like it belongs here, I think. And I think that's as far as we're gonna go for zoning. We could put in a school here, but I just don't think, given the size of that asset, I don't think it's gonna look very good. So let's get in some zoning. And I wanna start by using plop the growables. So this lets us actually choose the building that we're going to use. So I want something that is mixed, and I want it 2 by 2. So I've already kind of auditioned some of these already, and I found out that the level 1s look pretty decent, the EU level 1s. And if we can stick that one of these right on the corner here, that'll satisfy some commercial demand. Do we want 2? Yeah, I think we could probably go for 2. And then the rest of these, we're actually gonna switch over to residential. And I found that the level 3 building, I think it is, looks pretty cool. This is gonna make it look a little bit like an old historic main street. So let's get a few of these in here. So if we come down to street level here, now we have the makings of a historic downtown, maybe 1700s, 1800s. It looks like there's a little bit of wealth here, looking very European. It even looks like the bottom floor could be shop fronts, and so we're gonna go with it. I like the way that's turned out. I wish I could push this a little closer to the corner, but I don't have move it, and I don't actually care that much, so we're just going to leave it alone. I also do think some actual proper commercial would do us good here, just to play the game. And I noticed we're losing some zoning on this street, and I'm not sure why that might be. And I've lost my zoning control yet again. It was working last time and now it's not. So still some bugs that are being worked out in the mods apparently. But I've got what might be a solution. Yeah, no, that still didn't work. I want zoning on this road, but it's not gonna give it to me. So what to do? We might have to just place something manually. It's not perfect, but it does work, and I gotta get rid of one of these extra crosswalks because that is just silly. Yeah, I think that's enough for a note of commercial. We do have the mixed zoning right here as well. And with the rest of it, we're just gonna go single family homes, low density. A theater actor's mansion. Would he or she live in such a small town? Well, let's see if this is an appropriately sized building. It doesn't look that big. It does look quite luxurious. I think we might save this for a time when we have a real need for it. So back to our low density housing. All right, as we let that zone in, why don't we bounce over to, and by the way, I just don't know, again, if I need to put zoning underneath these buildings. So what is that? That's EU row housing. I just don't want them to die because I wasn't paying attention. So we'll get that in, and just in case. Very good. And while we're doing that, let's work on this road a little bit. So we've got now what will be a busier junction, and we're gonna need to upgrade this with a bit of additional turn lanes. So we're gonna find our 4-lane two-way highway. We're gonna turn off, is it this one? Cell length, yes. Upgrade, and we'll come in here and back this off that far. Do kind of something similar on the other side. Now we have our turning lanes. Thankfully we didn't destroy any of our trees. And ooh, a roundabout? Yeah, that could add for some visual interest. I'm not sure it's gonna fit. That might be a little small for a major highway. What's blocking us here? Is it the trees? Is it the farm? That would be, well, actually that might not be a bad size. but it is being blocked by the farm. So let's just adjust a little bit. Yes, that works for me. And we need to clean up this grass. Perfection, that looks cool. And why don't we add a little turning lane on this segment here, and I think upgrade this one as well, because we're going to be putting something on this side and it's going to be really cool. That is pretty fantastic. So we'll leave that. Fix those little power lines. And now the next thing we want is to give these people internet. And there it is. We've covered the city of, what is this city called? I have a name. I've been playing PlayerUnknown Battleground a lot lately, and we're going to steal a name from that game. Sterling Grove? No. Stalber? Yes. That's just something from one of the maps in PUBG. And what do we want for policies? Nope. And I wonder, how many people are living here so far? 215, okay, and 46 employees. So we are sending employees, about 150, out to the farms, which is great. And we're already having issues with our high rent. Now, you probably know, and maybe by this time it's already done, but there is a City Skylines 2 patch coming this summertime, I believe. And I'm hoping that fixes a little bit of this economy nonsense, because even with the economy balancer mod that I have, still getting these things. And it shouldn't be, right? This is a small town. We should be fine with single family homes. That's the thing in reality, right? Okay, building onward here. So we've got our parking lot in, and there's one really cool asset that we just unlocked last episode that I want to use here, but I want to make sure the ground is flat first. And I think you'll agree this is a perfect asset. This is the dairy house, which I don't know, milks cows, I guess. And yeah, we'll plop that right there. Fix our terrain a little bit. Very nice. And now we have this huge milking parlor. And what better thing to have in the middle of a giant rural zone? Looking for words, holy. And I'm not done yet. Just gonna upgrade that road so we give ourselves a little bit more berth, a little width, and not worried about those trees, they're fine. And so if we look at some of our overlays here, and we look at our post service, we're doing a terrible job. We're only processing 23,000 letters, is that, a month? And we have 107,000, so ooh, we're bad. And if we take a look at our happiness, what's the only thing people are really concerned about is the unreliable mail service. So a community like this, I think for sure could justify a post office. It's actually close enough to downtown that it will serve more than this. But let's get in a post office. Before I do that, I want to preemptively upgrade this road as well, because we certainly don't want to run out of space here in case we want extra lanes or whatnot. Do we want to add extra things onto this? I think we do. More post vans, yes, love that idea. And what is this? And more mail storage. I don't see why not. Let's do it. And while we're over here, I think we're gonna add just a little bit of industrial to this area. We'll call this light industrial, and it will be amazing. Very good, I like it so far, and I noticed we're having some shortages of high-skilled labor over here. That's probably just maybe one employee. Oh no, it's quite a few employees. Yeah, it's all the educated employees that are not here. Over here, only one. And it looks like, yeah, two over here. Pretty consistent, so that's just a lack of high school workers. And again, confuses me, because when we look at our high school, not even, yeah, it's only a third full. So why are we not producing more high school students when there's all this demand for educated jobs? I don't know, no idea, but we're not gonna let it ruin our day. So there's probably only one final thing that I want to do with this episode, and that is check out our bus lines. I'm thinking since we put in a couple new roads here, we might want a new line going out of town and possibly serving these communities as well. So taking a look at our lines, what do we got? I think I gotta hit X, there we go. Yeah, so nothing is really coming farther than here. Any way we could repurpose that line? I'm not so sure. Okay, I've got it. So I think what we're gonna do is just create a new line that's essentially an express line. And we're just gonna have it stop in Stalber here so they have some kind of service. And we'll just drop a very simple bus shelter in here. And we'll do it in front of the main, on the main drag here. One stop will be enough. Will it? No, I need two, because we'll be going back and forth. And I don't know if we need any more additional bus stops. I think we'll have them stop at least at the factory here. And let's check, do we have enough bays at our bus station? No, this is all full up. So we have a solution for that. We're gonna add some additional platforms, and that'll be great. So we're gonna come in here and just build a new bus line. All right, we'll make that the black line, and I'm curious, what is the actual name of this city over here? It is Alfred. Wow, great. Let's change that to the Alfred line, and we'll keep an eye on that to see how it does. What's next? Well, I think I'm actually quite happy with how that turned out. That looks really fantastic, especially from up high. And we've got a new little town on the map, more workers, a little bit more industry. We've got some of our production needs being met. Let's actually see how these things are doing. So what level are these farms? This one's at 3, we've got 2, 2, and 2. So there's still a lot of room to expand and grow, and we might need to actually give them a few more amenities for them to get to the higher levels. But it's a damn good start. And so let's check our production deficit now. We still have really significant deficits on just about everything, but you know what, we've put a dent in it at least, and as we fill up on jobs, these will get more efficient. This is missing employees, and I think many others are as well. So as they get filled up with employees and as they level up, they'll start producing much more in the way of resources, and that'll crush our production deficit a little bit. So we'll check that in the next episode. But for now, I think I'm quite happy to leave it here. I just love the way we've added our tree breaks, and we've varied the surfaces, and we've thrown in the wind turbines, which to me seem a little bit out of proportion, but that's just me. And it fits in nicely with our little lakeside community that we built the last time around. And man, with the streams coming through here, I'm happy I did that, because it certainly adds something. And we've got our apple orchards, and we've got room to grow in Stalber over here. Oh, the new industrial area, how are we doing? I think we're gonna bulldoze a few of these smokestacks, because that's not what I want to see. And we'll play a little bit of whack-a-mole with those and get something that doesn't produce smoke. But you don't need to watch me do that. We'll do that after I stop recording. And yeah, what do you think? What is your thoughts about how we did the downtown, the assets used, the tricks with the surfaces, and the use of anarchy? Let me know what you think. Let me know what tools and tricks that you use that I might be able to apply as well. And thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you being along for the ride. It's so much fun for me, but way more fun when I have someone to share it with. And so if you did enjoy this, please hit the like button, and please hit the notification bell and subscribe so you get you're aware of new episodes. And just have the most amazing day. Let me know how you're doing with your cities. If you'd like to drop a link to your channel, or you just want to chat, say hey, please drop me a comment, and we'll connect. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.